I have watched the same crash happen 100 different ways. Different bikes, different riders, different roads. But the same result. A rider who thought they knew what they were doing, gone in a split second. Here is what nobody tells you. Japanese riders survive scenarios that kill Western riders every single day. Not because they have better bikes, not because they wear more gear. They survive because they have trained reflexes that eliminate danger before it even registers in your brain. The difference is invisible until it saves your life. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what skills you are missing and how to build them. Because Japanese riders drilled those 23 killers out of their riding years ago. Let's start with the 8 killers that happen because you do not actually know where your bike is in space. Number 1 is the right turn squeeze. You know that moment when a car cuts across your path mid-turn and you realize too late that you are in their blind spot? Japanese police training uses cone weaving at walking speed to build what they call spatial buffer awareness. You are not just learning to turn, you are programming your brain to know exactly how much space your motorcycle occupies and how much buffer you need around it. When that car starts drifting, Japanese riders have already moved 3 feet to the left before the driver even thought about turning. Number 2 is lane position drift into the danger zone. Most riders think they're riding in the center of the lane. They're not. They're wandering into the oil slick zone, the door zone, or worse, the spot where cross traffic can't see them. Japanese riders use a mental map called 3 lanes within 1 lane. Left third, center third, right third. Every position has a purpose based on visibility, escape routes, and surface conditions. They're not guessing. They're placing the bike exactly where physics and sightlines say it needs to be. Number 3 is blind spot invisibility. You check your mirrors. Great. You're still dead because the car next to you has no idea you exist. Japanese training builds a shoulder check rhythm that becomes automatic. Every few seconds, a quick head turn confirms what the mirrors can't show. It's not paranoia, it's pattern recognition, and your mirrors lie. Number 4 is intersection positioning failure. You roll up to a red light and stop wherever feels comfortable. Japanese police training teaches escape route scanning before every stop. Where is the gap if someone is about to rear-end you? Can you see cross traffic early enough to react? Is your bike positioned so turning cars can actually see you? Japanese riders answer these questions before they touch the brake lever. Number 5 is following distance collapse. The 2-second rule is garbage. It assumes perfect reaction time, perfect brakes, and a perfect road surface. Japanese riders use a reaction space calculation instead. Can you stop in the distance you can see? Can you swerve around an obstacle if braking is not enough? If either answer is no, you are too close. The math does not care about your confidence. Number 6, multi-lane highway merges. Western riders look at the gap they need right now. Japanese riders pre-position 3 moves ahead. They're not reacting to the merge, they set it up 2 lanes over 5 seconds ago when they had time and space to make it clean. By the time you see them merge, the hard part already happened. Number 7 is parking lot chaos. Low-speed tip-overs and pedestrian strikes kill more riders than most people realize. Japanese Gymkhana training builds full lock-turn control until it becomes muscle memory. Riders can execute a U-turn in a space that would make you drop your bike. Not because they are naturally talented, but because they drilled it 1,000 times until the fear went away. Number 8 is group riding compression. You're riding with buddies and suddenly everyone is packed together like a parade. One person breaks, the whole group crashes. Japanese formation discipline maintains individual safety bubbles even in a group. Every rider knows their zone. Every rider protects their space. The group moves as one, but each person rides alone. We are taught to be visible and defensive, but we are never drilled on precise machine placement. Japanese training is obsessive about knowing your bike's exact footprint and controlling it within inches at any speed. That precision is what keeps them alive when the gap closes and you run out of time. Now let's talk about the killers that happen because you cannot actually control your bike when physics gets ugly. Number 9 is panic braking in a turn. You're leaned over, committed to the corner, and suddenly there is gravel or a car or a deer. Your brain screams brake and you grab a handful of front brake. The bike stands up, runs wide, and you are off the road or into oncoming traffic. Japanese police drill progressive front brake modulation while leaned over until the impossible becomes muscle memory. They practice adding brake pressure mid-corner without upsetting the bike's balance. When the emergency happens, their hand does not panic. It modulates. That is the difference between a save and a crash. Number 10 is target fixation, running you into an obstacle. You see the pothole, the guardrail, the parked car, and you ride straight into it. Your eyes lock onto the threat and your hands follow. Japanese riders practice look-through drills on cone courses. The cone is not the target. The exit is the target. They train their vision to find the escape route, not the obstacle. Where you look is where you go. Japanese training rewires that reflex before it kills you. Number 11 is throttle chop mid-corner. You enter a corner too hot, panic, and snap the throttle closed. The bike's weight transfers forward, the rear tire unloads, and suddenly you are sliding or you high-side. Japanese riders learn the maintenance throttle concept early. Steady, neutral throttle through the apex keeps the bike stable. You do not accelerate and you do not decelerate. You hold. That constant load on the rear tire is what keeps the bike planted when the corner gets sketchy. If this feels technical, good. This is where most riders realize skill gaps matter. Number 12 is the low-speed tip-over. Parking lots, U-turns, stop signs. You are barely moving, and the bike falls over because you lost balance or grabbed too much front brake. Japanese Gymkhana riders practice full lock figure eights until the skill is automatic. They can balance a 500-pound bike at walking speed through a turn tight enough to make you sweat. Not because they are strong, but because they learn to use the clutch, the rear brake, and body position as one coordinated system. Number 13 is emergency swerve overcorrection. Something jumps into your path and you yank the handlebars to avoid it. The bike wobbles, you overcorrect, and now you are in the ditch on the other side of the road. Japanese slalom drills at speed teach body steering, not handlebar yanking. You lean the bike with your hips and your core. The bars barely move. When you need to swerve, your body knows how to weight the pegs and let the bike carve around the obstacle without drama. Number 14 is rear brake lockup on downhill stops. You are coming down a hill, you hit the rear brake too hard, and the wheel locks. Now you are sliding, and the bike wants to swap ends. Western training often oversimplifies braking to mostly front brake, which leaves riders unprepared when traction is limited. Japanese training emphasizes rear brake modulation because they know the rear brake is your friend in low traction situations if you know how to use it. They drill threshold braking on both wheels until you can feel the edge of traction without crossing it. Number 15 is the cold tire first corner crash. You leave your driveway, hit the first corner, and the bike slides out because the tires are still cold and hard. Japanese warm-up protocol is deliberate, gentle lean passes before committing to aggressive angles. They are not being cautious. They are being smart. Tires need heat to grip. Drilled riders give them time to build it. The brutal truth is, most rider training is a quick demonstration of braking, and then good luck. Japanese police spend hundreds of hours drilling these exact scenarios until the correct response is hardwired. When the emergency happens, your lizard brain takes over. If you have not drilled it, you will do the wrong thing. If you have, you will survive. These next 5 killers happen because your brain made the wrong call in the half second you had to decide. Number 16 is the I can make that gap fatal merge. You see an opening in traffic, and your brain calculates you can squeeze through. You are wrong. By the time you commit, the gap closes, and now you are getting clipped by a car doing 60. Drilled riders use the 2-count rule. If you have to think about it, you cannot make it. The decision is binary. Either the gap is obviously huge, or you do not take it. There is no middle ground. That hesitation you felt? That is your survival instinct telling you the math does not work. Number 17 is riding beyond your sightline. Blind corners, crests, curves where you cannot see the exit. You are riding the speed that feels good, not the speed you can stop within what you can see. Proper training drills this concept until it is automatic. Ride the speed you can stop within what you can see. Not suggested. Drilled. If you can see 100 feet, you ride the speed where you can stop in 80 feet. The buffer is not optional. It is the difference between making the corner and hitting whatever is around the bend you could not see. Number 18 is the overconfidence crash. You know this road. You have ridden it 100 times, so you go faster and faster until the day there is gravel in your favorite corner, or a car stopped around the blind turn you always nail at 50. Trained riders practice reset drills to break complacency. Every ride starts fresh. Every corner gets the same respect as the first time you rode it. Familiarity does not make the road safer. It makes you stupider. Number 19 is weather condition misjudgment. First rain after a dry spell. Cold morning with dew on the road. Leaves in the fall. You ride your normal pace because it does not look that bad. Japanese protocol is automatic. They reduce speed by 20% for any condition change. Not because they are scared, because traction just dropped and they are not interested in finding the new limit with their body. The math changed, their speed changes with it. Number 20 is the fatigue-induced delayed reaction. You have been riding for 3 hours, 4 hours. Your reaction time is shot, but you do not feel tired, so you keep going. Then something happens, and you react a half second too late. That delay is the difference between a close call and a crash. The Japanese 2-hour rule is not a suggestion. It is mandatory. 2 hours, you stop. You rest. You reset. Fatigue kills your brain before you realize it is happening. Here is why untrained riders fail. They are taught rules, not decision frameworks. Proper training builds a mental checklist that runs automatically every single time. Can I stop? Can I see? Am I fresh? Is the surface compromised? If any answer is no, speed drops or the ride ends. No debate, no negotiation. The checklist runs, the decision is made, and you are still alive to ride tomorrow. The problem with decision-making killers is they feel like judgment calls. They are not. They are math problems with right answers and wrong answers. Drilled riders learn the formulas. Untrained riders wing it and hope. Hope does not stop you before you run out of road. The final 3 killers are the ones you never see coming because you were not trained to look for them. Number 21st is the oil slick in the intersection. Cars leak, trucks leak. Every intersection has a rainbow sheen right where you need to brake or turn. Untrained riders find it with their tires. Drilled riders scan for it 50 feet out and adjust their line and speed before they reach it. They are reading the road surface like a text message. Shiny patch? That is oil. Darker stripe? That is a tar snake that can turn into ice when it is cold. They are not guessing. They are identifying threats while they still have time to avoid them. Number 22 is the gravel patch at corner exit. You nail the entry, hold your line through the apex, and start rolling on the throttle for the exit. Then your rear tire hits loose gravel and it breaks traction. You are sliding or you high side before you even process what happened. Japanese police training includes surface reading as a primary skill. They are looking 50 feet ahead for texture changes, smooth to rough, dark to light, wet to dry. Their eyes scan constantly because the road is always trying to kill you. They see the gravel while they are still upright and stable, and they adjust. You do not see it until you are already sliding. Number 23rd is the invisible pedestrian. Someone steps out from behind a parked car. A kid chases a ball into the street. A dog breaks loose. You never saw them because they were hidden until the last second. Japanese urban riding protocol is automatic. They reduce speed and avoid the door zone near any parked vehicle. Not because they saw someone, but because they assume someone is there. Every parked car is a potential threat. Every gap between vehicles is a place something can emerge. They ride like the road is trying to ambush them because it is. The common thread is this: drilled riders are trained to expect the road to try to kill them. Every ride is a drill, every corner is practice. Untrained riders treat training as a one-time checkbox and wonder why experience does not save them. The fix is not complicated. You do not need to move to Japan. You need to steal their method. Pick 3 of these killers, find an empty parking lot, drill the skill until you are bored, then drill it 50 more times. That is when it becomes a reflex. That is when your body knows what to do before your brain catches up. The meta skill Japanese riders have? They treat every ride as training, not just transportation. Every corner is practice. Every stop is a drill. The bike is always teaching if you are paying attention. Your action step is simple. Pick the 3 killers most likely to get you. Find the drill that stops them. Practice until it is boring. That is when it saves your life. Which of these 23 have you had a close call with, and which one are you starting to train this month? Drop a comment, hit subscribe so we can keep building a safer riding community. Watch the next video where I break down the specific Japanese drills you can start today.